Brother Stokes. Out there with the Imperial women. Like, last month, they arrested me for 30 days and kidnapped me. On the 31st day, they dropped the trial. But I'm telling you like this, Frank Jackson going to jail. And Brother Stokes gonna make sure he go to jail. For kidnapping, for kidnapping, for kidnapping. And Jimmy ain't got to tell on you, Frank, because I got some pink handcuffs in my house for you. You're going to jail, Frank. You're going to jail. No justice?
No peace!
No justice?
No peace!
No justice?
No peace!
Bill Swain, supporter of the Revolutionary Communist Party. This is a national day to say no to the harassment, the beatings, and the killings, especially of our youth. They want to go after the youth that get AIDS. They want to go after the youth with baggy pants. And we're saying, we're listening to these stories of people that have lost loved ones, that are desperate, that can't stand it, and then they get no charges on those pigs that do it. And then they want it in Detroit after they killed the 7-year-old Ayanna Stanley Jones. Mayor Bing gets on TV saying that it's because of the youth that happened, that they got to send these pigs into these terrible communities, and that's what caused that death. No, there was nothing but police murder and racism. And she was sleeping in bed in the couch with her grandmother, but she got murdered for that. And now we have it. The youth breaks the law, execution. Brandon McLeod, Guy Wills, Angelo Miller, Stephen Horton, Aaron Steele, Henry Bell, and recently Danny Withers there on 125 and Phillips. Hundreds of our Mexican sisters and brothers crossing the border for work, getting shot down by the Border Patrol. Yes, there's violence among the youth, but why is there violence among the youth? That's the system too. No jobs, lousy education, they shut down schools. Here's a good example of the Bruno sisters that opposed it, and look what happened. That's a message. You don't have no future under this system, especially black and brown students and youth. And the message is that actually youth are worthless under this system. Not in our hearts, not what we say, but what it will take is a revolution to get rid of the system so that they do have a future. And what we're saying is we are building this revolutionary movement today to get to that point where youth would actually determine the destiny of a society, not be locked up, pushed down, and some of them stamped out and killed. Those concerned about youth need to help actually the youth get involved in the revolution. Not tell them that they should talk differently, they should dress a little differently, they should have, it's a personal responsibility issue, or get with God. No, join the revolution. That's what's needed. A system that has its police killing our kids. A system that attacks youth who are protesting school cuts. A system that criminalizes our youth for just hanging out with a few friends. That system needs to be gotten rid of, and it can be. Join the revolution now. As the message from the Revolutionary Communist Party has put it, and I read it, the days when this system can just keep doing what it does to people, here and all over the world, when people are not inspired or organized to stand up against these outrages and to build up the strength to put an end to this madness, these days must be gone, and they can be. And two slogans. Fight the power and transform the people for revolution. And two, this system has no future for the youth, but the revolution does. Thank you.
And I'm with FIST, and I'm with the Workers' World Party, and I found it kind of interesting. I've been involved in the defense of Destiny and Deasia Bruno after they were brutally attacked. And when the media, and when the forces came out there, they tried to say that the only reason these kids were protesting, even though their schools were going to shut down, was because a couple of red-haired communists came down and made them do it, supposedly. That's crazy. We just went down there to support their efforts of the students. They don't understand that the reason students are being instigated is because this system is instigating them. They're closing schools, they're closing the hospital, the trauma center, the only one on the east side. They're closing everything and they're attacking people. And they want to say the only reason people want to stand up against this is because of, of the commies told them to? Come on now. It is not the communists who brutally murdered Brandon McLeod. It's not the communists who are destroying jobs and schools. It's this system. And I say it's time to organize and resist against it. It's time to stand up. I am sick and tired of having to protest one more injustice after another injustice. I want to take this system down. I want justice. I want peace. I want a united coalition of people coming together. And I want to change things. That's what I'm saying. Thank you.
Now we're going to have Sister Donna Brown.
I guess.
Girl, tell your story, hon. I know everybody out here got one.
I'm here to talk about plea bargaining. And for us black people, that's something, the first thing they hand us is a plea bargain. And you have to learn sometimes to say, no, I'm not going to take the plea bargain. I'm going to actually make them do their job and find me guilty. The big problem, too many of us, we're quick to say we're going to take the plea bargain. We have to stop that. If it wasn't for Deaja and Destiny and Miss Bruno saying, no, we're not going to take the plea bargain, we're going to stand up because my daughters have been brutalized. That's how you start right there. Stop taking the plea bargain. Stop going in the back room, taking the plea bargain, black folks. Make them prove something. Make the police do their job. And I tell you this because when you're a concealed weapons carrier, the first thing they tell us after we've used our guns, they tell us, you plead the 5th and you plead the 6th. First of all, I ain't saying nothing, then I need a lawyer.
Exactly.
Therefore, if that lets them do their job, once my lawyer come, I'm good. And I tell you this because that's how plea bargains get started. Right there, being afraid to say, no, I ain't taking the plea bargain. I'm going to let you do your job. Let them do their job. Stop making their work so easy for them. Once you take the plea bargain, technically you take the power away from the people. We can't help you as much when you done took a plea bargain. But long as you ain't took the plea bargain, I'll die for you if you right. And that's what it's all about. Every activist out here, we put our lives on the line. This ain't just something we do. We've got another rally coming up that's just as serious as this one. And we're talking about lives being threatened on the whole east side. We're talking about Huron Road Hospital. That's going to be on the 27th. We're going to take it to the decision makers. We're going to take it to 9500 Euclid Avenue in front of Cleveland Clinic. And that's where we're going to need all of your support. And make no mistake, it's a good chance that you might actually get a chance to see police brutality in action. Because the activists, we bring in the noise. And we will not be moved. And the object of this here is a 6-hour marathon letting Cleveland Clinic know that the community is concerned, we're dissatisfied, and we will not be moved. They've never had a rally for 6 hours. They've never had it. And it's not about us going to jail, but we're willing if we have to. So remember this, plea bargains, stop taking them. Say no, let them prove the case. Because once you take the plea bargain, you take the power away from the people.
Yeah. Right. That's right.
Right on. Right on. The power is in the people. Always remember that. The power is in the people. Is there anybody else? Come on, Don Bryant.
I can get up next.
No, I heard it as I was doing
Right.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
I'll say that first. Taisha, Don Bryant here, working with a bunch of groups, People's Forum, Immigrant Support Network, Black on Black, Peace of the Hood. Taisha just asked me to mention the Fikes case. Check it out on YouTube. California case, police brutality, extreme. Okay, I'm sorry. It happened in Cleveland, and he's from California now. So, Fikes case. I just want to remind you all that next Friday, the 29th of October, is 1 year since the Imperial Avenue women's bodies were found over at 123rd and Imperial Avenue. So I want to ask you to commemorate this time we'll be having a vigil, bring a candle to, and a rally to remember the women, and also ask the question, are we protecting black women and poor women and children? And women in general, but especially black women and poor women and children. Are we protecting? Are we doing any better a year later?
No!
You know, what has the city done?
Nothing.
We're going to be asking these questions. We invited Mayor Jackson to this rally. We're having a proclamation out of the councilman's office in the Imperial Avenue area, Mount Pleasant. And we're also, NAACP will join us, and many other organizations will be there. We got to keep on getting out in the streets, and we got to keep getting in the city council meetings too, and in their faces to stop this insanity, this police brutality, and beating up women and finding women dead. It's a sad state of affairs for Cleveland, Ohio. All people got to be coming together. I don't care if you're white or black or brown or yellow. We got to be together. And Taisha reminded me there's a domestic violence rally today at 7 o'clock on Detroit Avenue. We got to get you the address. But again, on the rally next Friday, it'll be quick here. The vigil, bring a candle too. It's 5 o'clock at 123rd, East 123rd and Imperial Avenue off of Kinsman. So please come and show our respect to the women and don't let them die in vain. Thank you.
All right.
Can I hear somebody say, free Rebecca Whitby?
Free Rebecca Whitby!
Free Rebecca Whitby!
Free Rebecca Whitby!
Free Dusty